Hello, friends. This is Low Rate Hitman. How the heck are you doing today? First off, I want to apologize that I'm not uploading these in high definition. I do work, I have a job. I'm just a normal man, and I have so many hours in the day, and sometimes doing that right there, takes a little bit longer than normal, which everybody understands that. I also want to say I do thank everybody that's come over to the channel and that stopped by and checked it out, and I hope you do enjoy. I mean, I'm just a normal person, I like to talk a lot, and I talk about a lot of different things, on a daily basis. I try to upload a video every day. What I want to talk about today is surviving. I'm talking about being able to survive in life. I was born and raised in the South. That's apparent. You can tell by my voice. I mean, I probably sound like a backwoods hick, but I'm really not. We all sound like this. Some sound worse than me, though. What I mean by surviving, though, is if the power was to go off, if there was a drastic thing that happened in the United States and we lost power, we lost food in the stores, and it was for a long period of time, do you think you'd be able to survive with no electricity, no heat? You could have heat. Let's just exclude heat, but heat that comes out of your vents in your house. Would you be able to survive without going to the grocery store and buying food? Does your cabinets have enough food in it right now? Do you have canned goods? Do you have beans? Do you have the things that would at least last you a month for your family, how many ever people that might be in your household? For me, it's 4 people right now. And the reason I brought the South into it is because there's a big misconception that a lot of people think, well, I'm from the South, I can grow a garden, I can live off the land, I can live off of wildlife or whatnot, It's good in theory and it's good in ideal, but what I express is where I live at. I've got Nashville a couple hours from me. I got Memphis a couple hours from me. If something was to happen in both those cities, was out of electricity and there was no food or anything, the first thing that I would expect that would happen is, there'd be rioting and looting. I'm not saying everybody would, but there would come a point, if you do not have the things that you need to survive, you will either die or you will go out and you will try and find them. And a lot of people think, well, I got a gun, I'll be able to protect myself. Well, if it comes down to this is just all my thoughts about how things will be, You're going to have to join other people. You're going to have cliques. You're going to have groups of people. You're going to have to find somebody to fit in with. And people that think that they're going to be loners in a situation like that is not going to last long. You can only board your doors up and board your windows up for so long. You will have to come out. Unless you got enough food for a few years, and hopefully nobody knows about that. Nobody tries to come in and take that from you. Now, I don't want anybody to think I'm a big conspiracy nut or anything like that, that I'm paranoid, that I worry about this. I sleep with a gun under my pillow, just waiting for the drop of a pen, I'm not like that whatsoever, but I do think about things, and I think that everybody needs to think about these things, especially if you have a family, It's even more imperative that you kind of at least run this stuff through your head. You have an emergency plan for yourself, and for your family, and friends. If you've got friends, there's nothing wrong with, just, if you guys are playing cards or whatever, actually just sitting down and talking about it. Hey, if something happens, can I depend on you? Can I rely on you, that we can help each other out and try and make it through a situation, because that's what friends are for. But getting back on being raised in the South and people thinking that we've got enough stuff, that we can hunt, we can fish, that's a bunch of crap. I'm here to tell you. We got wildlife down here, but like I was saying about like Memphis and Nashville, those people would leave the cities and they would go toward the country and they would flush every single wild animal out of the woods on their way, especially if there's no transportation, if people's on foot or whatnot. There's you got about a month, if that, of wildlife in this state, that would, and it wouldn't even support everybody. It's crazy. And for anybody to even want to eat fish out of any of these waters around here, I mean, you'd have to be kind of out of your mind, because I don't even eat fish, man, because these waters, man, they're polluted, man. They're not clean. They're not like they're supposed to be. That's for damn sure. So I'm just going to give you guys some of the things that I would recommend, and I'm not going to give a complete list, just some basic stuff that you can kind of put back that will help you if that ever happens, and stuff that you can put back and that you won't even have to worry about. One of the first things is sleeping bags. you've got to be able to stay warm in the wintertime, especially if you got kids or whatnot. I've got teenagers. So sleeping bags and a tent. I mean, Lord knows you can put that stuff in a closet and it'll never be found. Another thing is a shotgun. I'm not talking about some AR-15, you know. If you want all that, you can have all that. But you know what? If somebody sees that, they might want that, you know. So you want something that's not going to be showing all the time. So maybe a sawed-off 12-gauge pump would be a good gun. And maybe a handgun. You don't need a bunch of guns, I mean. Because like I said, people are going to band together, and that's going to be the biggest problem, especially for loners. You know, it'd be nice for everybody that, you know, that's around you to have a handgun or whatnot. And, you know, that's ideal. If you can swing that and you're comfortable with that, you know, that is good. Another thing is medicines. Allergy pills, aspirins, just anything like that. As far as food goes, I know people's going to laugh at me, but these Smack Ramen noodles, those things will last for years, man. I don't even think they got an expiration date on them, man. You can get 5 cases of those Smack Ramens for like, I don't know, $25, you know, and just put them in the closet. But also have beans and rice. I mean, you could live off those things alone right there, you know, not counting the canned goods and stuff that you can kind of stockpile up, you know, and just, you ain't got to stockpile those. Just keep enough for about a month, I mean, or 2, just however much you're comfortable with, you know. But just remember that if anything like that ever happens, you know, those are going to be the things that people are going to want because they're going to be hungry and they're going to be sick, and those are going to be the ideal things. You know, people think, well, gold and money, I don't think... You could have a steak in front of you and you haven't eaten in 4 days. You can have a chunk of gold. Which one would you rather have if you're starving? I think I'd rather have the steak, you know. So I really think any kind of monetary systems, it's going to go to hell for a long time, you know. So there's tons of TV shows, there's tons of websites, books, there's all kinds of things, you know, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people that watch this stuff, you know. So it's not like I'm enlightening anybody. I'm more or less just kind of opening things up for discussion. Are you ready? I mean, do you feel like right now, this instant, if something happened, you know, and you're like, wow, what happened, you know, and by the time it hit everybody, you know what's really going on. Are you prepared? Or you ready to survive? I mean, people don't like to think about stuff like that, you know, and I don't think about it all the time. Like I said, I'm not no paranoid, schizophrenic fool or anything, you know, but I like to keep things in the back of my mind at times. This is all open for debate, you know. If there's something that I left out, which I'm sure there's a million things, you know, just leave a comment. You know, it's all up for discussion. Like I said, Modern Warfare 3 is dead. I love the game, but it's dead. I mean, you can only talk about it so many different ways. You can only do so many different things, you know. I like to talk anyhow. I like to discuss things, and things are up for discussion, you know. My upcoming videos, they're probably going to be just talking about random stuff, you know. One day I might be talking about, who knows, Barney and the Teletubbies. I mean, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not going to go, you know, that far off the deep end, but I'll talk about whatever's on my mind, you know, and that's been on my mind lately because elections are coming up, and election time is always crazy in the United States, and after the elections is always crazy, and we know that right now the unemployment rate's high, you know, stock market, just everything's kind of crazy right now. The world is crazy. It won't take but one thing to set off a chain reaction of craziness, you know, and I'm just asking, are you ready? Are you prepared? I don't think I'm all the way prepared. I need to be. But I'm going to draw this to an end, and I just like to say I appreciate everybody stopping by and checking this video out, and hey, hit me up on PlayStation or 360 as Low Rate Hitman. I mean, I'll play with anybody. You know, just send me an invite or whatever. Send me a friend request. You know, send me a message. You know, tell me, hey, I want to play. I mostly play on the weekends. It just depends. I do work a lot. I work every day of the week. And add me on Twitter, man. I'm a Twitter freak. I get the Twitters all the time, man. I Twitter it up. But like I said, I hope everybody has a wonderful Wednesday. And I hope everything's going good for them. And I do appreciate everybody stopping by. Thanks a lot.